previously. Dead Man wakes up as a slime and soon becomes very overpowered by eating his enemies. Everyone likes him, so he becomes a leader as well. A powerful magin called Jelmud wants to start a war in the fantasy kingdom, and his first target is a weak lizard population. To stop the evil from spreading and to help the lizard men, Rimuru joins the fight and easily defeats the magin and his blinded orc army. After the battle, to form a peace in the kingdom, they all form a peace alliance and Rimuru becomes their chancellor. As Benimaru and his fellow Kijin are leaving, Geld's son offers his life to them in order to atone for what they did to their village. But Benimaru decides to forgive him, telling him that he can make up for it by being loyal to Rimuru instead. Rimuru overhears their conversation and decides to give names to the orcs afterwards, starting with Geld's son, who inherits the same name as his father. He also gives the Lizardmen king his name, naming him Abaru. Abaru passes judgment over Gabaru for his treason, exiling him from the Lizardmen village and society. Gabaru was ready to pay for his crime with his life, so he is very much surprised when they let him leave. Not only that, but they also let him keep his special weapon. He gets even more surprised when his closest friends also exile themselves willingly, just so they could continue being with him. Laplace is talking about what happened in the forest to the demon lord Clayman, who seems to be the one behind it all. Clayman begins scheming what to do next about the slime that ruined his plans. Back in Rimurus village, development is progressing with the now evolved High Orcs joining as the main workforce. Suddenly, a bunch of Pegasus Knights from Dworgen arrive, with whom is their king Gazel. Gazel had received a report from his spies, telling him of everything that happened in the forest. Learning just how powerful and influential Rimuru is, he decided to meet him in person. In order to learn what Rimuru's true nature is, he forces Rimuru into a duel. Rimuru is able to pass his test, and Gazel declares that Rimuru is a good person. Afterwards, Gazel explains how he had to investigate the large gathering of monsters that is happening due to Rimuru, because if they continue expanding through the great forest of Jura, it will become even more powerful than Dworgen. Stating how it would be useful to have another nation backing them when such a time comes, he offers to enter a treaty with them. Without even thinking about it, Rimuru accepts it, and thus they give the name to the nation of monsters, calling it the Jura Tempest Federation. They also name the capital city Rimuru, after the slime that started it all. A couple of days later, Gazel delivers Vesta to Rimuru, presenting him as a gift of their friendship. Gazel explains how he can no longer have Vesta in his service, but that not utilizing his talent is a waste. Kaijin also chimes in, convincing Rimuru to take Vesta. Vesta swears to his king that he will not disappoint him again, promising to be of use to Rimuru. Gabaru and his friends arrive to Rimurus village as well, followed by his sister and an entire squad of lizard men. While Gabaru wants to be of use to Rimuru of his own desire, his sister was sent by Abaru to learn from her experiences here. Rimuru accepts both of them, giving them and their followers names. Gabaru receives the same name he already had, which seems to overwrite the previous one he got from Jelmud. Gabaru's sister, Sauka, and her squad are taken in by Sawe, who starts training them as ninjas. Gabaru and Vesta are put to work inside of the cave where Veldora was sealed. There they work on growing healing plants and creating potions. Clayman is shown to 3 other demon lords, Milim, Carrion, and Frey, what happened to the orc disaster. This makes Milim interested in Rimuru, flying off to meet him in person. Rimuru senses her massive aura as she approaches, going ahead to meet her outside of the town. Just taking a glance at her power, Rimuru realizes he cannot win a fight against her. Even though she does not appear to be hostile, Shion, Benimaru, Sally, and Ranga jump out, launching a surprise attack at her while trying to get Rimuru to safety. Their attacks do nothing to Milim, and she blows them away just by releasing her raw power. Rimuru calms his allies down, promising he will take care of Milim. He tricks her into taking an attack from him, which turns out to not be an attack at all, but instead some sweet honey he gathered in the forest at some point. Milim is taken aback by the sweetness she has never tasted before, demanding more of the tasty stuff. Rimuru leverages the honey by making her promise that she will not harass him or his villagers. Milim agrees to those terms, wondering why Rimuru does not become a demon lord himself, but Rimuru has no interest in that, figuring it would mean more hassle for him. This makes Milim confused, and she wonders if he is doing something more fun than being a demon lord. In order to find out, she wants Rimuru to show her his village. This results in Rimuru introducing Milim to everyone, and he is surprised to find out that she is famous. Milim declares that Rimuru and her are friends now, and everyone celebrates that they have befriended such a powerful demon lord. Although Rimuru is worried about her childish behavior, he figures it is for the best this way. Milim is enjoying the new hot spring baths which were built recently, while Rigurd and the others consult Rimuru in regards to what a friendship with Milim means and the possible repercussions it might have with the other demon lords. Variard and Fuse are discussing the appearance of the nation of monsters led by the slime Rimuru, in order to see if this will pose a danger to Bluemund. Fuse sets out in person, making the three adventurers from before, Irene, Cavil, and Guido, escort him there. Meanwhile, in Rimuru's village, Vesta has been successful in recreating a healing potion with the same potency as those that Rimuru creates. Their celebration is cut short as a fight breaks out in the city. Heading to the scene, Rimuru sees Milim is the one responsible for it. As it turns out, Rigurd was attacked by Carrion's men, more accurately by Phobio, one of the three Beastketeers, who wants to make them submit to the demon lord Carrion. Milim happened to be present, so she returned the favor and knocked Phobio out in response. Once Phobio regains his senses, he and his men have a proper meeting with Rimuru. During their talks, Phobio keeps being disrespectful and condescending, making Rimuru send them off without any agreement being made. While leaving, Phobio proclaims that he will make him regret this decision. Milim reveals that she and three other demon lords, Carrion, Frey, and Clayman, were behind what Jelmud was doing in an attempt to have some fun. This helps Rimuru understand why they are getting involved with the demon lords now, as it is them who disrupted their plans. Another nation bordering the great forest of Jura is the Falmouth Kingdom. It is a major trade power known as the gateway to the western provinces. In order to investigate the rumors of the Orc Lord appearing in the forest, they send out a team led by a man named Yaun. Yaun and his team of mercenaries run into the adventurers from Bluemund, who are being chased by a giant monster spider. Just as they are getting ready to face it, Gobdet and his squad of goblin riders come to their rescue. All of them get escorted to the village, where they get an audience with Rimuru. Fuse is shocked to learn that Dworgen has already acknowledged the Jura Tempest Federation as legitimate by entering a treaty with them. Rimuru expresses his desire to establish friendly relations with the other kingdoms as well, but Fuse first wants to learn if he is in fact an ally of humans or not. In order to boost his reputation as an ally of humans, Rimuru makes an offer to Yaun. He wants him to be known as the champion who defeated the Orc Lord, while Rimuru and his people only provided support. After some consideration, Niam accepts the proposal, and Rimuru makes him practice with Hakiru, so he would be able to perform as someone with such a reputation should. Over at Clayman's palace, another masked magin called Tyr is reporting to him, saying that Charybdis is going to be revived soon. Clayman seems intrigued by that news, sending her to find out if there is a way for them to tame that monster. Phobio is approached by two masked magin, Tyr and Footman. The two say how they sensed his anger directed towards Milim, offering him a way to get back at her. They explain how he can gain a lot of power and become a demon lord himself if he is able to control Charybdis. Even though his allies try to discourage him, Phobio is blinded by his emotions, leaving behind his companions and following the magin towards the place where Charybdis is sealed. Upon arriving at the location, they explain to Phobio that he will have to take Charybdis inside of his body and merge with it, tricking him into thinking that he will be able to control it. Phobio follows their instructions and heads into Charybdis' lair, filled with anger towards Milim. In Rimuru's village, Trainee's sister, a dryad named Trya, appears before him, warning him that a Calamity-class monster has been revived, namely Charybdis, and it is headed towards their village. They hold an emergency meeting where Trya goes into more detail, explaining that Charybdis has been created from a cloud of Veldura's magicules a long time ago, making it extremely powerful. Since then, it has been killed and revived multiple times, and every time it revives, a calamity happens, since it is a monster with no reason, existing only to destroy. Rimuru thinks it has sensed that Veldura is inside of him, so it decided to go after him. Rimuru gives the order for everyone to prepare for the fight against Charybdis, which shocks Fuse as to why he is not running. Rimuru explains that he will also get support from Dworgen because of their treaty, and if it indeed becomes an unwinnable situation, then he will consider running. But for now, as the strongest monster in this place, his duty is to stay and fight. Once only the humans, Fuse, Irene, Cavil, and Guido are with him, Rimuru reveals to them that he is after the demon lord Leon, as he means to hold him responsible for what he did to Shizu. Knowing this puts them at ease, and they become more trusting towards him. Even though Milim wants to have some fun fighting against Charybdis, Rimuru does not want to involve her, thinking that Charybdis is after him, so relying on her would be abusing their friendship. The fight against Charybdis then starts, and Rimuru's troops, together with the Pegasus riders from Dworgen, are perfectly capable at defeating the minions it created. But when it comes to Charybdis itself, Rimuru is the only one that can stand against its attacks. Hey, thank you for staying all the way till the end. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. It takes only a second, but it means everything to us. Have a great day and see you in the next video.